Hey, what's up guys? JQ back with Tech Creation, where I use technology for recreation. So if you haven't seen my Galaxy Watch or my Apple Watch reviews, make sure you go watch those and then come back to this one just so you get a little bit of context. So for an apples to apples comparison, I have the Galaxy Note 9 paired up with the Galaxy Watch, and obviously the iPhone paired up with the Apple Watch. So without further ado, kick back, relax, and let's see who made the better smartwatch. So holding the two watches side by side, the difference in style is apparent. The Galaxy Watch is definitely my preferred look. I think round watch faces just work better for smartwatches. It just makes more of a statement when wearing it out in public. Let's face it, smartwatches are accessories at the end of the day, so you have to enjoy wearing it to some degree. And since the Galaxy Watch is heavier, it does feel a bit more premium, whereas the Apple Watch, it just looks and feels more like a toy from how lightweight it is. And it actually feels cheap, but ironically, it's more expensive than the Galaxy Watch by $100. But being lightweight does have its benefits, which I'll talk more about later in the video. Now, both watches are available in Bluetooth and LTE models, and these right here are Bluetooth only. And I never felt the need to buy LTE smartwatches simply because my phones are always with me. And if I'm ever in a situation where I need cell phone service, chances are I might want internet service as well, and smartwatches alone can't really do much. So if we take a look at the stock bands for both watches, this is Apple's black sport band, and this is Samsung's stock option for the Galaxy Watch, which is just a generic rubber band. Now, although the Apple Watch uses proprietary bands, the benefit is that they're just so much easier to attach over Samsung's. You just slide them in until it clicks and you're done. But the benefit here that the Galaxy Watch has over the Apple Watch is that you can swap over a standard band from your existing watch collection if you have one, just so long it fits. Now, I definitely would recommend you buying bands directly from Apple or Samsung's website. Don't do that. You can find much cheaper ones on Amazon for about 1/3 and 1/4 of the price. And that's exactly what I did for both watches. So starting with the Galaxy Watch, I picked up this silver Milanese band for only $11, and it complements the Galaxy Watch perfectly since the frame is silver. Now, as for the Apple Watch, I also picked up a black Milanese along with a Nike replica sport band. Both only cost me $10 each, which otherwise would have cost me $200 had I bought it directly from Apple. So now, as far as more third-party accessories go for both smartwatches, you can find all types of protective cases, screen protectors, and bumpers. And I currently have a tempered glass screen protector installed on my Galaxy Watch. You can barely tell that it's on. And if you're wondering why the bezel is silver, it's because this is a bezel styling adhesive ring that RINGKE or RINGKE, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. They was kind enough to hook me up with a sample. It's just a thin piece of aluminum that you stick onto the bezel to switch up the style. And I think it makes the watch look even more badass than it already is. Now, as for charging, the Galaxy Watch includes their wireless charging dock right out the box, which is a major bonus. It makes for a nice presentation, whereas the Apple Watch, it just comes with this wired puck for wireless charging. While it is convenient, I would have preferred a charging dock, so I picked up this charging cradle from Spigen for only $9. It's just a frame that secures Apple's magnetic wireless charger. This way it doesn't fall out. So now you can enjoy the convenience of docking your Apple Watch to charge. So both smartwatches use AMOLED displays, and technically the Apple Watch has a higher pixel density, so it's gonna look a bit better, but the difference is so minimal, I'm not even sure if that's something that's worth discussing. Now, 3D Touch is another benefit that the Apple Watch display has over the Galaxy Watch. Just like the iPhone, you press the screen for more options and to change your watch faces, whereas on the Galaxy Watch, you touch and hold to do the same. Now, as far as navigation goes, Apple gives us the digital crown and Samsung gives us their rotating bezel. And if I'm being honest, I think Samsung was a lot wiser here. They used a feature of some existing watches, which is a bezel, and they made it functional, and I think that approach was just a lot better thought out. But the benefit that the digital crown has over the bezel is its multiple uses. So aside from scrolling, you're also able to double tap and quickly jump into the last app that you were in, or you can just press and hold it in to launch Siri. So the crown does kill a few birds with one stone. And of course, both offer the variety of standard features that you can expect from a smartwatch: fitness tracking, heart rate sensors, NFC, mobile payments, text messaging, and phone calls. But now the main difference between these two smartwatches is the software that they're running. So with the Apple Watch, we get watchOS 5, and with the Galaxy Watch, we get Tizen Wearable OS 4.0. So beginning with Tizen OS, this is Samsung's Linux-based operating system. It's a pretty straightforward software with plain text menus and settings, and with almost 1 GB of RAM, the UI itself feels pretty snappy. You can pull up your apps with a click of a button, and your basic system toggles is just a swipe down from the top. However, I do feel that watchOS is much easier on the eyes in my opinion, just because it's just an overall much more fluid operating system. So with Tizen, while still actually actionable. Notifications for the most part are just plain text, while with the Apple Watch you get a lot more detail with rich app icons. Photo notifications are large and clear, and they're just a lot better to look at in such a way where you're inclined to interact with it. As you're using the digital crown to navigate, immediately you'll notice there's just a lot more color and character with watchOS. It's just like a mini iOS. You get a multitasking dock, a mini control center for your basic system toggles, and just like Tizen, you can view and access all your apps with just the press of a button. Now when it comes to replying to text and composing new text with your voice, it's just so much easier to do with the Apple Watch. Siri picks up natural spoken words a whole lot better than Bixby on the Galaxy Watch. Honestly, Bixby on Tizen OS is just a joke. Flat out joke. The voice pickup is terrible. You tend to have to speak very loud and slow. It's just poor software at the end of the day, and it's not ideal for a smartwatch. So if voice dictation is important to you, then the Apple Watch is way better at that. Now, if you have a knack for customization, Galaxy Watches are known for their large selection of watch faces. So everything from basic digital to future animated ones, there's just so many watch faces to choose from that you're bound to find one that fits your style. Whereas with the Apple Watch, there's a few cool pre-installed animated ones that I do like this Vapor and this Fire one. They look pretty dope, but for the most part, beyond that, the only limited options were to download another app like Facer that you can set different photos as the background, and that's kind of boring after a while. So the Galaxy Watch walks all over the Apple Watch as far as customization goes. Now, customization is fine and everything, but I gotta admit, Samsung's biggest weakness when it comes to the Galaxy Watches is their app selection and the connectivity and the stability of those very apps. Say you want to use an app like Uber, right? So not only does Uber have to be installed on your Android phone, but you also have to download a separate Uber companion app from the Gear Store in order for it to communicate with the Android app from the Galaxy Watch. And just Tizen apps in general aren't as seamless as I would like them to be. Take the Philips Hue app for instance. Even though it's installed on my phone, it doesn't communicate back to Tizen, so you have to download a separate Hue app just for the watch itself. And while I gotta admit the app has improved, its feature set is solid and the response time to the hub is quick. However, the widget itself still remains dead. It never worked and I don't think it ever will. And that's basically the same story for most other apps. So it just always feels like a half-baked experience using the Galaxy Watch, and it's clear that developers don't take Tizen OS seriously. Now, all of the Galaxy Watch flaws is where watchOS shines. So with the Apple Watch, you get much more of a cohesive experience, and the way watchOS and iOS are integrated is just flawless. And what makes this possible is with what Apple calls complications. So any iOS app that supports this will show up under complications inside of the Apple Watch app. And then just as long as the iOS app is installed on the iPhone, then it's ready to go on the Apple Watch. No secondary or companion apps needed. You just launch it on your Apple Watch and you're able to use it right away. And also I found that the Apple Watch has much more of a reliable connection over the Galaxy Watch, meaning that there were no issues whenever I stepped in and out of range with my phone. And when it came to reconnecting back to the watch again, it was flawless on this watch. And for some reason with the Galaxy Watch, I often have to end up turning Bluetooth on and off and fiddling with the settings inside the Gear app. So now, speaking of connection, if you're big on controlling media playback on the fly, the digital crown makes that very easy to do. It works perfectly for the gym, especially whenever you need to increase the volume quickly whenever you're in between reps or sets. I found it to be amazing at that. Whereas on the Galaxy Watch, that requires twisting it right, tapping the volume icon, and then increasing the volume. So for that one simple action, you're looking at 3 steps versus 1 step. And it's always those little things that make all the difference when it comes to the user experience. And not to mention, watchOS's playback controls just always work. With the Galaxy Watch, I've always had issues with track information not displaying properly or just not showing at all. And that ties into what I was saying. Tizen? No, but that ties into what I was saying earlier to the whole half-baked experience with the Galaxy Watch. Now, as far as voice calls are concerned, my experience with both watches was pretty equal for the most part. The speakers on both watches were very audible. The microphones were good enough for callers to hear me just fine without questioning me. Now, when it comes to fitness features, both watches feature heart rate sensors, and they both work as intended. It's not something I use on smartwatches much, but the Apple Watch does have the edge here, being equipped with a full-on ECG, which is supposed to be more accurate. And I already gave my thoughts on that in the Apple Watch review, so if you haven't seen it, make sure you go watch it. As far as workouts are concerned, in terms of features, I gotta give the edge to Samsung because Samsung Health has got some skin in the game. It's just been out a lot longer, so we get features that you won't find on the Apple Watch, like built-in sleep tracking along with water and caffeine intake. And on watchOS, in order to get these features, you'd have to download separate third-party apps for that. But I don't want to take anything away from the Apple Watch because starting and understanding workouts on watchOS is just so much easier than the Galaxy Watch, and that's something that people may prefer over the extra features. In both respective phone apps, Activity and Samsung Health sync in real time from the watch, so for casual exercising, I really don't think you can go wrong using either smartwatch. Now, as far as the battery is concerned, this is where the Galaxy Watch is superior, so I'm getting about 3 days of use with no problem, and I can easily probably push it to 4 just by turning power saving mode on. And the Apple Watch, on the other hand, you're looking at more of a 2-day battery life. Obviously, in both cases, it's going to vary depending on what you got going on with the watch and how much you're abusing it, but for the most part, the Galaxy Watch definitely lasts longer, so you're looking at 3-day battery life versus a 2-day battery life. Both watches have their place. If you're going to be playing sports or live an active lifestyle, just given how lightweight it is and the ease of use and consistency, get yourself an Apple Watch. It's a more functional smartwatch, hands down. I just get bored with how it looks. So I feel if you're going to go on a date or just hang out with friends often, and you want something that you can stylize and you don't really care about all the bells and whistles, and you just want to be notified and go on with your day, then get yourself a Galaxy Watch. Observe what kind of person you are, what kind of lifestyle you live, and then make a decision from there. And that's that. That's as simple as I can make it. All right, there you have it. That's my perspective on the Apple Watch Series 4 versus the Galaxy Watch. I would love to know what's you guys' current take on these two smartwatches, and please let me know if I helped you make a decision. Let me know by showing some love to that like button, dropping a comment down below, sharing it with a friend. Make sure you subscribe and turn on those alerts notifications so you don't miss out on some more superb tech videos. As always, I want to thank each and every one of you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.